had no strategy.
And
guys, humor me for a second
No
here.
tactics.
I think it'll be interesting that, like you said, tactics. I want to talk about strategy. And I want to use chess to explain it, okay? There's a difference between strategy and tactics.
He used his jab. He used his distance. He had poise in the ring. He wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant match.
Teo is an elite fighter. He made him look very, very average in there. He won every round. The footwork, the punch selection, absolutely everything. I mean, he's a 4-division world champion.
Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman goes off on Teofimo Lopez for blaming judges, and Crawford and the gloves came off verbally. Instead of owning a one-sided loss, Teofimo reached for excuses that simply didn't hold up on tape. Judges, narratives, even opponents were dragged into the blame game. Analysts tore it apart, pointing to poor adjustments, zero corner direction, and a fighter exposed. At this level, excuses don't rewrite dominance performances do.
His backhand is way far away.
He would have to cross his body to get to you. Yes.
And his hook, you're outside the hook. Okay.
Takes way too long.
Teo and his corner, his dad, had no set. One round he won, maybe the 8th. He would jump out with his left foot to outside Teo's out foot, and he would hit him with a hook in the body. Yeah. Maybe he won the 8th round, and that was it. And then there was no cut stopping in the corner. There were no instructions in the corner.
Stephen A. Smith lays it out in the most damning way possible. Shakur didn't just win, he stripped Teofimo of every supposed strength. This wasn't about durability or toughness. It was about a fighter who couldn't find the target, couldn't force exchanges, and couldn't change the story. Teofimo looked powerless, reduced to chasing angles he never understood. When a performance is this one-sided, the conversation shifts from judging to exposure, and that's exactly what happened.
Great things, and he was untouchable, and I still think that he's one of the marvelous, if not the most marvelous defensive fighter we have ever seen. You know, you got cats.
Max Kellerman tears apart Teofimo's corner and fundamentals with surgical precision. From the opening rounds, Teofimo's technique was sloppy, his backhand left him wide open, hooks telegraphed, and movements predictable. His dad and corner offered no adjustments, no strategy, nothing to save him. Maybe he scraped a single round, but the fight was over long before that. This wasn't just losing, it was a masterclass in how a lack of preparation and guidance turns talent into a sitting duck.
Whoever has their lead foot on the outside strategically is controlling the space. That's for multiple reasons. One is your back foot, if you're righty, takes you naturally as you throw punches in a clockwise position. If you try to just imagine throwing punches as you're moving counterclockwise, you have to stop and set. It's harder. It's slower. And southpaw is reversed. So if you can get your foot on the outside, it forces the other guy into, even though you're fighting in circles, essentially a retreat. That's first thing. The second thing is
Eddie Hearn doesn't hold back. He exposes Teofimo for what he truly was in that ring, completely outmatched and made to look ordinary. Despite all the hype around Teo, Shakur turned the fight into a masterclass, controlling every round with precision, timing, and intelligence. By the 12th round, it was clear Teofimo's skill, power, and strategy were irrelevant against a fighter whose dedication and work ethic made domination look effortless.
I really fancied he'd win the fight, and I was very convinced. But Teo, like I said, he's a great fighter, and it's just the way that he did it, the ease. You know, he's going into the 12th round and said to fight, he could do 40 rounds. You know, like that's what you get with dedication and the work ethic that Shakur has.
Shakur Stevenson didn't just win, he exposed Teofimo for the fighter he really is. All the talk about leaks and fixes was irrelevant because nothing could save him inside the ring. Teofimo tried, scrambled, and gave it his so-called best, but it wasn't even close. Every attempt fell flat, leaving him looking powerless, outclassed, and completely dominated by a smarter, faster, and sharper champion.
The beef is over. The beef is over.
We squashed it.
We squashed it.
Okay, man. God damn, so we done. But it was a hell of a night. Teo, he came and tried to do his best, but his best wasn't enough.
Teofimo spent the fight on the back foot, running, retreating, and desperately trying to survive. Every step showed confusion and hesitation, like he had no plan and no answers. Against Shakur, who controlled distance, pace, and timing flawlessly, Teofimo's moves looked amateurish. What should have been a contest turned into a clinic, a complete dismantling that exposed just how outmatched he truly was.
From him. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this athletic competition, and then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again. I mean, he was fighting. Then it turns to where he can't stay away anymore, so now he's got to go the other way.
Ade Oladipo completely exposes Teofimo's weak game plan. Shakur stepped into the division and immediately showed why he's on a different level, turning what should have been a competitive fight into a complete shutout. Teofimo barely landed a single clean punch. His timing was off, and his strategy non-existent. Facing the best, he looked unprepared and outclassed, proving that all the hype and excuses couldn't cover up how thoroughly he was dominated.
Boy is brilliant. Understand who he beat. He beat Teofimo Lopez, who, yes, has had his issues. I think we see that against Cambosos and to an extent against Sandor Martin. But Teofimo Lopez was recognized by everyone as the best 140-pounder. Shakur Stevenson, in his first fight in the division, has gone to fight the best, and it's a shutout. It's a shutout. There wasn't a mark on him. Like, Teo barely landed a good...
Keyshawn Davis sums it up brutally. Teofimo was beaten with ease from start to finish. Every punch, every exchange, Shakur controlled the fight while Teofimo scrambled helplessly. This wasn't even close. It was a clinic in precision, timing, and skill. Teofimo's reputation took a hit, showing fans that talent alone can't overcome intelligence and work ethic. By the end, it was clear he was outmatched and exposed in every possible way.
Backstage, bro, I'm just going crazy. Like, oh, he beat him up. It's easy work. Like, he's beating Teo up. Like, it's not even a close fight, you know what I'm saying? So, I was just happy for him. Super happy for him.
Man, he called out Conor Ben. You guys both trying to maybe co-main and main event in the UK with all these UK guys?
Hey, man, how big this event was, bro. Like, I ain't tripping. Let's do it. Like, we probably bring, like...
Ade Oladipo makes it crystal clear that Teofimo Lopez's size and strength were meaningless against Shakur Stevenson. Every time Teofimo tried to impose himself, Shakur bullied him, outboxed him on both the front and back foot, and punished every misstep with crisp combinations and single, precise shots. What should have been a competitive fight turned into a clinic in dominance. Teofimo looked confused, overmatched, and powerless, exposing his lack of adaptability. By the end, there was no doubt Shakur didn't just win. He humiliated him, round after round.
He was a big, strong guy, and Shakur just bullied him. Bullied him, outboxed him on the back foot, outboxed him on the front foot. Every time Teo came in and kind of tripped himself, going over his front foot, the punches and bunches and just the single shots were just beautiful from Shakur Stevenson.
Teofimo Lopez tries to defend his performance by pointing to body shots, but it's obvious they were meaningless against Shakur Stevenson. His so-called arsenal barely landed, his combinations lacked timing, and every attempt to impose pressure fell flat. Shakur controlled distance, dictated the pace, and made Teofimo look slow and predictable. What Teofimo calls effectiveness, analysts see as desperation and incompetence. This wasn't a close fight or a moral victory. It was a fighter exposed for failing to adapt, failing to execute, and ultimately being completely outclassed by a smarter, faster, more skilled champion.
I was catching him a lot with the body shots a lot, so I think that was one of my effective arsenals that was getting him every time. But I think just more combinations, especially finish with...
Daniel Jacobs emphasizes that Shakur Stevenson didn't just win, he completely dismantled Teofimo Lopez with pure skill and boxing intelligence. This fight wasn't about grit or heart. It was a demonstration of superior technique, timing, and execution. Teofimo's jab never landed clean, his combinations were ineffective, and he failed to adjust to Shakur's flawless control of the ring. Fans and analysts alike saw a clinic in dominance, as every move highlighted Teofimo's inability to compete at this level. By the end, Teofimo was fully exposed as outmatched and outclassed in every facet.
Teofimo is my guy, but I've always been a fan of Shakur, and I think that Shakur put on a clinic tonight. Least amount of risk, been able to put his skill set into fruition all night. The jab was leading. You can tell the difference in skill set, and that was the difference to me that made the fight. It wasn't about grit, it wasn't about heart, it was about sheer talent. And Shakur has displayed that.
The Wade concept breaks down Teofimo Lopez's technical collapse, showing that he couldn't get past Shakur Stevenson's lead hand, couldn't cut the ring, and repeatedly made wrong footwork adjustments. As an orthodox fighter against a sharp southpaw, every step Teofimo took played into Shakur's strategy. Shakur's control of distance and the outside track left Teofimo frustrated, ineffective, and completely exposed. What should have been a competitive fight became a demonstration of dominance. Teofimo's mistakes highlighted his inexperience and lack of preparation, leaving him humiliated, while Shakur looked effortless and in complete command of the ring.
Was having real trouble getting to Shakur Stevenson. He could not get past the lead hand. The jab was stifling him. He was having trouble cutting the ring. He was having trouble getting to the outside foot. This was an orthodox southpaw matchup where Teofimo needed to step to his left to try to push the lead hand away or at least get head off center line if he wanted to throw his right hand. Instead, he was doing the opposite, and Shakur...
Timothy Bradley Jr. lays bare exactly how outmatched Teofimo was inside the ring. Shakur's pressure was relentless, forcing Teofimo into mistakes at every turn. Every punch Teofimo threw was countered, every attempt to create space punished, and every misstep exposed his lack of adaptability. Shakur didn't just land clean shots, he dictated the pace, timing, and rhythm of the fight, leaving Teofimo chasing shadows. Even if Shakur had turned the aggression up further, Teofimo would have panicked completely, unable to respond or think clearly. This wasn't just a win, it was a systematic breakdown, showing Teofimo's vulnerability, lack of ring IQ, and why he couldn't handle an elite, disciplined, and smarter champion.
Our Shakur hits hard enough. You don't. But if he stayed consistent on T.O.'s ass, because what we say, T.O., right? We gonna make him answer some questions, right? That's what we gonna do. Shakur gonna make him ask some questions. Like, he gonna have to answer quickly because he can't outthink Shakur, right? Yeah. Out of position, bang, got cat. Shoot his jab, bam, got hit again. Right hand, bam. Everything he did, he got countered. Everything he did, he got countered.
Bomac explains why Shakur Stevenson's boxing mind makes him nearly untouchable. Every move is calculated, every adjustment precise, and once he sets his plan, it's almost impossible to disrupt. Against someone like Teofimo, whose reactions were slow and predictable, Shakur made the fight look effortless. The combination of timing, skill, and ring intelligence left Teofimo frustrated and exposed. Bomac emphasizes that to beat Shakur, a fighter needs more than size or power. They need a level of anticipation and adaptability that Teofimo simply does not have. In the ring, brains beat brawn, and Teofimo proved that trying to muscle through Shakur's strategy was a recipe for humiliation from the very first round.
You future guys, young guys and amateurs just turning pro, watch that, man. That was beautiful. You heard his father say in the corner, "What happened to your fast hands? That shit didn't work, man."
Claressa Shields highlights how complete Shakur's domination was against Teofimo Lopez. From the jab to bodywork, Shakur controlled every aspect of the fight, mixing precision, timing, and power so efficiently that Teofimo had no answers. Blood on the canvas and visible frustration showed how exposed he was against an elite boxer who refuses to be challenged. Shields points out that there was nothing more to ask for from Shakur. He executed perfectly. Teofimo's attempts at offense were ineffective, reactive, and poorly timed, showing a lack of preparation and mental sharpness. By the end, it was clear Teofimo was humiliated, and Shakur's performance was a textbook example of skill, dominance, and ring intelligence.
I know boxing, and like I told y'all, we're gonna see a little bit of athleticism, but we're gonna see Shakur be using his jab, going to the body. And we saw blood today. Shakur did great today. Only thing I can ask for is stopping. I can't ask for nothing else.
Bruce Carrington doesn't hold back when breaking down Teofimo Lopez's complete breakdown in the ring. From round one, Teofimo looked lost, constantly out of position, doubling up his right hand and turning square or southpaw at the wrong moments. Against a sharp, disciplined, and counter-punching master like Shakur Stevenson, these mistakes were fatal. Bruce points out that even if Teofimo tried to fight smart on the back foot, he would still struggle because Shakur controlled distance, timing, and reflexes flawlessly. Every punch Teofimo attempted was anticipated and countered, leaving him frustrated and exposed. The fight was never competitive, it was a clinic in dominance. From the opening bell, Shakur dictated every aspect of the bout, leaving Teofimo humiliated, powerless, and completely outclassed by a fighter operating at a higher level of skill.
Man, he made it easy. You know, I was saying, like, if Teo was to fight more on a back foot and throw punches when Shakur throws, that's the only time you're going to get Shakur. But Teo, he has a habit of getting out of position all the time. He'll double up his right hand, turn square, or turn southpaw. Like, that's not gonna work, bro. You're not gonna take up enough space to touch Shakur. And Shakur's reflexes and his countering was just keeping Teo at bay. It was an easy night from round one for him. Shakur got the dub.
Teofimo Lopez Sr.'s remarks inadvertently underline just how poorly his son performed. He admits Teofimo didn't follow instructions, failed to maintain rhythm, and couldn't stop Shakur from executing his strengths flawlessly. Analysts had already seen what the fight revealed. Teofimo was outclassed in every aspect: speed, timing, positioning, and ring intelligence. Shakur's dominance made every mistake glaring, turning Teofimo's power and reputation into mere illusions. Even with his father defending him, the truth is undeniable. This was a complete humiliation. Teofimo wasn't just beaten. He was exposed as a fighter, unable to compete with elite skill, discipline, and preparation. The bout was a statement that hype and past achievements can't shield a fighter from being utterly outmatched when the superior champion is in the ring.
His rhythm was supposed to be different, where we were supposed to stop Shakur from doing whatever Shakur does best, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations to him for winning, you know what I'm saying? But that was not my son in there, you know. I think probably the networks and everybody.
Shakur Stevenson didn't just win, he destroyed Teofimo Lopez in every possible way. From technique to timing, from footwork to counters, Teofimo was exposed as a fighter who couldn't adapt, couldn't think fast enough, and couldn't handle elite skill. Every punch he threw was anticipated, every attack neutralized, and every attempt at offense punished. This wasn't just a victory, it was a statement of dominance, showing the world that hype, size, and reputation mean nothing against a smarter, sharper, and more disciplined champion. Shakur left no room for debate. The fight was his from start to finish. So, now it's your turn. Are you backing Shakur to continue this unstoppable rise? Or do you think Teofimo can somehow recover and shock the world next time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.